Hello and welcome to your English news broadcast live on ERi-TV. It's exactly 10:30 p.m. on Eritrea's local time from our headquarters at Asmara with your domestic and international news in brief. I am Zahra Badouri, but first we'll begin with your major headlines for this broadcast. An announcement from the Ministry of Health. Financial contribution in support of families of martyrs. And more. China condemns U.S. warship transit of Taiwan Strait. Major security changes after deadly attack. Welcome to your domestic in brief. One patient has been diagnosed positive for COVID-19 in tests carried out today at quarantine centers in Asmara Central Region. On the other hand, one patient who has been receiving medical treatment in hospital in the Central Region has recovered fully and has been discharged from the facility. The total number of recovered patients has accordingly risen to 6,590, while the number of deaths still stands at 37. The total number of confirmed cases in the country to date has increased to 6,640. Ministry of Health, Asmara, 28th August 2021. The Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare reported that the members of the EPLF-PAL Talk Vision Room contributed $302,809 in support of families of martyrs. According to the reports from the Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare in 2018 and 2019, the group had extended $251,300 to the National Association of Eritrean War Disabled Veterans for the implementation of the various projects in support of families of martyrs and disadvantaged citizens, as well as to augment the Martyrs Trust Fund. The EPLF-PAL Talk Vision Room, a group comprising Eritrean nationals residing in various countries, was established 5 years ago with the view to support families of martyrs and disadvantaged nationals at home. Dear viewers, we have a tragic announcement to make. The legendary artist Eritrea Gabru passed away on the 26th of this August at the age of 71. Veteran artist Eritrea Gabru, who joined the Eritrean Liberation Front in 1974, was pronounced dead. A number of revolutionary songs also he made during his stay in the field and abroad. Veteran artist Eritrea is survived by his wife and 8 children. The funeral service of veteran artist Eritrea Gabru was held on 27th August, thus yesterday, at the Asmara Martyrs Cemetery. Expressing deep sorrow in the passing away of veteran artist Eritrea Gabru, the Cultural Affairs of the PFDJ expresses condolences to families and friends. On your final domestic, call was made on the religious leaders and influential people to strengthen participation in the effort to avoid harmful practices that are negatively affecting women, people with intellectual and developmental disability, as well as female genital mutilation. At the meeting in which public representatives for the subzone of Barantu, Shambuko, Gognai and Mogolo took part. Mr. Fanko Kubaba, DG of the social welfare in the Gashbarka region, explained on the importance of community-based participation to avoid harmful practices. According to reports presented by health professionals, the FGM is still being practiced in some parts of the region, and called on the village elders and religious leaders, as well as influential citizens, to reinforce participation in the effort to stop the practice, indicating that the FGM practice is legally prohibited by the government of Eritrea. Ambassador Mahmoud Ali Hurui, governor of the region, said that the legal measures will be taken on those that are involving in the practice. The participants on their part called for conducting sustainable awareness-raising activities and strong follow-up by the administration at the various levels and the public. Up next with your global report, do stay with us for more. And on your reports on the international line, Beijing slams the move of provocative, saying it shows the U.S. is the biggest threat to the peace and stability. China's defense ministry has protested the passage of U.S. Navy warship and Coast Guard cutter through the waters between China and Taiwan, a self-governing island claimed by Beijing. A statement posted on the ministry's website on Saturday called on the move provocative and said it showed the United States is the biggest threat to peace and stability and creator of security risk in the 160 kilometers wide Taiwan Strait. In quotation, we express firm opposition and strong condemnations, it said in a report. The USS Kidd guided missile destroyer and Coast Guard cutter Manuro sailed through the strait on Friday in international waters, the U.S. Navy reported. Such exercises are seen as a warning to China, which recently conducted drills near Taiwan and has not renounced the U.S. forces if needed to bring the island under its control. A statement from the Navy's Japan past 7th Fleet said that the ship lowered full transit through the Taiwan Strait demonstrated the U.S. commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific Taiwan, home to 23.6 million people split from China during a civil war that led to the Communist Party taking control of the mainland in 1949. The U.S. does not have formal diplomatic relations with Taiwan, but maintains a representative office in the capital, Taipei, and it is biggest supplier of military equipment for its defense. Saturday's defense ministry said, in quotation, that Taiwan is an inalienable part of China, and Beijing will not tolerate any interference in what it called its internal affairs. On your final reports, Burkina Faso on Friday said that it would overhaul its security forces to cope with a sixth-year militant insurgency that has claimed more than 1,400 lives and forced 1.3 million people away from their homes. The government will, in quotation, review the structural and operational organization of the National Defense and Security Forces. Junior Defense Minister General Amy Barthélemy Sapor announced at a press conference in the capital, Ouagadougou. Major reforms, in quotation, will take place to recognize and adapt forces to take into account threats from terrorism, was reported, adding that the overhaul would take place under the guidance of President Marc Christian Kabore, who is also defense minister. In quotation, the immediate step will be to work to protect the public and property, unquoted, especially helping the country's international displaced population, he said. Sapor said the changes and challenges would focus on information system, logistics, and living conditions for the armed forces, but did not give details. One of the poorest countries in the world, Burkina Faso, is struggling with an insurgency that swept in from a neighboring Mali in 2015. Its armed forces are poorly trained and equipped against highly mobile jihadist unit linked to Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State group, as said. The groups are adapting and have adapted at ambushing highway envoys, planting road slides, bombs, and carrying hit and run raids on remote villages. Dear viewers, that is all for now with your domestic and international news brief. Until we are back with some more news, you'll stay and enjoy with the rest of our programs. But until then, these are your major headlines for this broadcast in review. An announcement from the Ministry of Health as your primary domestic. Financial contribution in support of families of martyrs and more. China condemns U.S. warships transit of Taiwan Strait. Major security changes after deadly attack. That is all for now. Thanks for watching once more.